everybody, it's Tingana, and he's decided to we can see him at least for a little while. If he keeps heading east, we're going to stick with him as long as we possibly can, and as long as there's no one else that really wants to see him. But we can't go too much farther east from where we are. But it's a bit of a beautiful visual of him. You can see how much, oh, there's scent marks, spraying urine. It smells like buttered popcorn. You can see how much larger he is than Hassan. I know it's sometimes a little bit harder with the screen, but you can see sort of from the cut of his jib and the size of his body and the stockiness that he is quite a big boy. He's going to scent mark there again. And it's funny because he keeps zigzagging and moving in different directions. So it's myself and one other view goes out of the screen just now. I'm going to start up the vehicle again and follow him through, and then you guys can be on our exciting adventure with us. And then again, I just have to apologize for the back of my head as we're driving through. I don't want to pull a Tristan or hurt Wendy, as has happened before. Now, there's some really big, beautiful termite mounds that are around here. I also don't want to fall into a hole from these termite mounds, but there's also some large, beautiful termite mounds that are here that I'm actually hoping he will climb up, because that will give us a great view. So we're just going to come around the corner. Careful of your face there, Ferg, and try and get around these thickets. Jen, you want to know how close Tingana is to Hassana? They're about 1.5 kilometers apart from each other, so around about a mile and a bit apart from each other. But he's going in the opposite direction of Hassana. I can see him just up ahead. I'm just going to try and get in front so that we can get his beautiful face. But he seems to have caught a little bit of a lie-down area. I'm just going to get under these branches here. Just bear with me. So because he's going in the opposite direction for now, I don't think that they're going to interact. But Hassana likes to follow Tingana, and I think Tingana finds Hassana. Sorry, Tingana. I think Tingana finds Hassana intriguing for the fact that Hassana keeps doggedly trying to be in his presence. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that he finds this older male appealing, and also because I think Hassana wants to take over his territory at some point. There we go. That's a really lovely view. We're going to go in here. How gorgeous is that? All right, so because he's sitting down for a little while, we can get a nice little huge dewlap underneath. We're going to stick with him for now, but we're going to head back up to Ralph for... So Tingana has got up and he's starting to sniff around some of these aardvark burrows, which could also possibly have a warthog inside of them. So he's been walking and scent marking, and now he's interested. It's difficult from the angle we have for me to show you exactly where these burrows are, but it's just in front of him. And I've watched before. I know you had it with Scott the other day with Hassana when he was chasing those warthog in particular do this, where they find fresh scent of something like a warthog and they know where it is, and then they are busy in that little area. And I think if I remember correctly, Jamie had a sighting a couple weeks ago where lions were digging warthogs out of some burrows there. And they're very intelligent creatures, and they're very aware of what's going on. Now, he does not look thin by any stretch of the imagination. We know that he stole part of Kachava's kill several days ago and chomped on that. But, I mean, if something catches his scent, or if he catches something scent, then he's definitely going to go for it. We discuss often how opportunistic leopards can be, and now where he's smelling there, interestingly enough, is a spot where another leopard would have scent marked. So I also think that that's part of what he's doing. You see how he's looking there. So he was interested in Kachava the other day, and we talked about how him and Kachava mated sort of towards the mid to end. There's this Fleming grimace, mid to end of September, and she's now pregnant. And Hassan has been far south, as far as I know, with properties on the southern side of Chitwa, so there's possibly some other leopards that are around. So that little lick and smell he's doing there with the Fleming grimace has to do with the leopard. The other smells that he was smelling on the ground near the burrow could possibly be from another leopard, or it could be from those warthogs. But those would be my two educated guesses. We have another vehicle that's joining us, so just sorry for the sounds there. He's very intent on this urine spray that's been put onto this tree. And there's the Fleming grimace again. And of course, he turns his head, so we can't really see him. Possibly those warthogs we were talking about. But I don't think that Tingana heard it. We will have to see if maybe he picks up on them, or if maybe this leopard scent is just a bit too much, too intriguing for him, I should say, rather than too much. So this is absolutely fantastic. 2 of our resident male leopards in a 1 game drive. And I have to say thank you to all the other guides that are out and about on property, because Chitwa is a bit of a drive for us, and we're lucky enough to be able to traverse. There, he's going to scent mark again. There, he scrapes with his feet. That sawing noise we like. I think we're going to need to move around shortly to get a better view. So I think let's head over to Scott, who's got a leopard of a different character that he wants to show you. So let's head on over to him while I move the vehicle. We've come over to a nice spot, but also one of the reasons why it is a nice spot is the fact that he has decided to lie down. He's picked a really thick area for us to be in, which makes it very difficult to maneuver the way that we need to. We're lucky we've got a little short body Land Rover, and also, as you guys know, the zoom on this camera is fantastic. So as long as Ferg has a little bit of an angle, he's good. Shem, we just had to rip him through a little bit of a num-num tree, but he seems to be okay. Don't want to upset the cameraman, because then, you know, maybe we don't see anything. Shame. Ferg's going, arr. Ferg, you're not very imposing with that arr. I'm sorry. Now, interestingly enough, this oak has a lot of ticks on him as well. You saw that tick on his ear, just there at the back. So it means the tick season is in full swing, and unfortunately they're picking these up as they go along the way. I got a couple of messages from some of you yesterday evening saying that the tick on Hassana's nose yesterday was bothering you so much you wanted to like reach through and pick it off. I understand the thought process there. I don't think either Tingana or Hassana would be very pleased with any of us if we did that. Now, again, whatever he was smelling, whichever leopard he was smelling around there has definitely intrigued him. And then also those little bits of warthog that have been running around, also intriguing him quite a bit. It's cooled down immensely. It's going to be dark in about an hour and a half. But with this cooling down, he is going to keep moving the way that he's doing. He is breathing because it was warm, but he's not breathing as heavily as our fat little Hassana that we had earlier with that leopard kill. There you can see that big dewlap. Hassana's just started getting his in. Tingana's is much larger. And again, the older they get, the bigger that gets. Another species that would have something like this dewlap would be an eland. Male eland in particular have very large dewlaps. Lions, you know, it would be interesting. Most male lions, every now and then you get a male lion without a mane, but male lions have manes. And I wonder if under that mane there is a little bit of a dewlap. Although that being said, I've seen older male lions that have lost their manes from stress and then haven't really noticed a large dewlap. And I've never noticed a large dewlap on a cheetah either. So possibly out of those 3 cats, it's really just a leopard thing. Gorgeous screenshots going on here. Absolutely fantastic. There's the termite mound I wanted him to climb up. He's decided to lie on the side of it. Sorry, we've got another vehicle that's with us in the sighting, and because they've got a longer body, they've managed to squeeze themselves into the space they could get. And we also have someone else that'll be joining us that will also squeeze in. So I think we'll be able to stay with this boy maybe for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll probably have to give space to someone else. But rather see him than not see him. And we've been doing so well. Scott and Tristan had such amazing leopard sightings while I was away on leave. And then Scott and I have done well, it seems well, this past sort of week or so over Christmas time, trying to get you guys as many leopards as we can. And one of the reasons why we're seeing so many leopards is our lions have really pushed off, which means that the leopards aren't hiding as much. Neil Smith, you have just tuned in and you're curious to know where is this live program happening from. So this is Safari Live with Wild Earth TV, and we are filming currently from South Africa in the Sabi Sands. The physical property I'm sitting on is Chitwa in the Sabi Sands, but we also traverse on Djuma. And we do this twice a day, and then we share our feeds. We have one site up in the Masai Mara in Kenya, and then our site down here. The Kenyan side of the production has already closed down for this afternoon, and Scott and I are just busy out in the Sabi Sands now for about another hour, just under an hour, giving you live game drive from the African bushveld. And as you know, you've just put in a comment or a question, but you can send through all those comments and questions, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter or on the YouTube chat. Trista, good question. Trista, you want to know what is the purpose of a dewlap? So, Trista, the dewlap on an eland carries a lot of fat inside of it and also helps slightly with thermoregulation. Both the males and females have it. Elands can be in areas like this, but they can also be in more arid areas, and it helps a bit. For the male leopards here for this, my personal opinion, and I'm sure that there's many other personal opinions and scientific opinions out there, my personal opinion is that the size of the dewlap and the growth of the dewlap has to do with the testosterone level that's inside the leopard. So male leopards having larger testosterone than a female leopard, and territorial male leopards that are in charge of their territory having the highest testosterone levels, that aids in that growth of the dewlap, which makes the head and the neck larger seeming and more imposing when coming across other younger males that might be trying to take over, or another large male that wants to expand into the territory. So for that aspect, and then also showing very good genes to the females, that thick neck with that large dewlap. So therefore, happy to mate with them. Neil Smith, you're a local. Local is lekker. You're from Cape Town. Yeah, man, you must tune in. We start at 5 o'clock in the mornings and go till 8:30. And then, Nikki, just remind me, our time here, we start at 3:30, correct? Yeah. Yeah. So from the Mara, we start at 3:30 our time, which is really 2:30 their time. And I always get it confused because they've got a difference in time. So Neil, yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning until 8:30 in the morning, and then 3:30 in the afternoon until 6:30 in the evening. You can catch us every day on the YouTube. And then we also do TV shows. We just had an amazing TV show that was broadcast live in the United States. And then we have TV shows that we'll be showing live on Nat Geo Wild again. I believe it's end of February for a bit of a binge series, so we've got those as well. I think Tingana is starting to cool down a little bit. Is he sticking his tongue out again? I've noticed with this male, over the past few times we've seen him when he's very hot, he does this. He sticks out part of his tongue, and then he stays that way. Maybe he's just getting old. Or maybe it's just a personal trait. Anupam, you're curious to know what Tingana means. I actually don't know what Tingana means. Nikki, do you know off the top of your head? Or Ferg? I don't actually know. I can double check for you and see what Tingana means. I've got a couple of trackers that are near me. Maybe when we go off air, I can double check on what Tingana means. My favorite leopard in the whole world, who's actually the female leopard, who's not here. She's in a property farther north from here. Her name is Mbilo. Mbilo means heart. And then my favorite male leopard, who does occur in this area, his name is Mvula. And Mvula means rain. His eyes look like the cloudy skies, like the rain. But I don't know what Tingana means. I'm going to have to look it up for you. James Hendry would know, but James Hendry is on leave at the moment. He should be back in the new year. He's probably down by the ocean having a swim and laughing at all of us sweating up here. Shame. And also Tristan's back in a few days. Tristan might also know, in case I cannot find out appropriate for you. If I see Herbie tonight, I'll let him know. Ooh, we have an answer. Oh, interesting. So Teresa, one of our viewers, so Neil, we have a lot of viewers who've been watching us for years and years and years and years. Teresa, you're saying that Tingana means shy in Shangaan, and probably from the fact that he was very shy when we first started seeing him when he was around 2 years old. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. I love how much everybody, all of you viewers, listen and how much information you retain. I also really appreciate the fact that a lot of you keep records of all of these things. So myself, I'm new, and Ralph, who was with us earlier, is also new. So it's nice being able to get context to some of the characters that we see, and it's nice that the context comes from you, the viewers. It's excellent. I enjoy it very much. So thank you very much. Tingana apparently means shy. Oh, he's such a lazy flat cat. All right, everybody, our time with Tingana is up. We do have to allow another vehicle with some guests from another lodge to come in and view him. I think this has been an epic little while with this big, beautiful male. So we're going to be leaving him and saying goodbye. And while we do that, let's head on over to Scott and see what he has for us.